I'd like to call the July 11th session of the Mokena Village Board to order. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And after the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like a moment of silence, not just for Highland Park, but for all this stuff that's going on right here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm really looking forward to the day we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Budson.
Here.
Trustee Dauphiné.
Here.
Trustee Angler. Trustee Fedora. Here. Trustee Matanius.
Here.
Trustee Richmond.
Here.
And Mayor Fleischer.
Here, we have a quorum. Piscola Mokena, De Molinari, Festa Italiana.
I'd like to thank the board and, of course, Mayor, for all your support. 8 years now. This is our 8th Festa Italiana, which will be on Sunday, July 17th. And so, in honor of that, me and Vince would like to sing to you the Italian national anthem.
Hi, Frank. How you doing?
Good, Vince. How much stuff? We don't have to pay for this, do we?
Yes, you do.
Napoli, where love is king. Boy meets girl is what they say.
1, 2, 3. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the stars seem to shine like you have too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Viva Bella. Hearts will play, ticker-ticker-tay, like a game tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like pasta mazzola, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a crowd at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Schools are maybe, but you see back in old Napoli, that's amore, that's amore, that's amore. Grazie, grazie, that's amore. On behalf of Mokena's Festa Italiana, I see Frank Fleischer, a really true friend of the fest. He came from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church at 67th and Hermitage years ago, right, Frank? And hi, Laurie, how you doing? Good to see you. And it was his inspiration to bring this fest here. It's been 8 years. There will be a procession at St. Mary's at about 11 o'clock. We keep that tradition up. The food and the entertainment will be there on the 17th. We support the Lions Club, and we also support the Knights of Columbus, plus a few other assorted charities. It's a really fun fest. We know you'll enjoy it. We see Frank there every year, and I hope you can make it this year, Frank.
I'll be there.
Looking forward to it. You too, George, because George was a trustee, it still is, and when we had to get that Metro lot wired up properly so you can hold a proper firecracker dance and a proper Festa Italiana and any other thing in that lot, George and Frank were instrumental in doing that for the village. Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
And we'll see that. Community calendar, Clerk Martini.
Community calendar for July 2022. July 13th, the Mokena Park District Summer Drive-In Movies. It starts at 8:45 p.m. at 10847 West LaPorte Road. The movie this time is Grease. It's $10 per vehicle. Registration and more information at www.mokenapark.com. July 15th through the 16th, the Mokena Lions Club Firecracker Dance Weekend is at Front Street Metro Lot. July 17th is the Fiesta Italiana at noon at the Front Street Metro Lot. July 18th, the Village Board Work Session is at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall. July 19th is a Recycle Day. July 20th, the Village of Mokena's food trucks on Front Street. It is from 4 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. It's at the west end of the Front Street Metro Lot. July 20th, the Mokena Community Park District's free outdoor concert is at Yunker Park Band Shell. The performer this time is Flipside. It starts at 7 o'clock p.m. at 10824 LaPorte Road. July 21st, the Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting is at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall. July 25th, the Mokena Fire Department CPR class is from 6 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at 19853 South Wolf Road. For more information and or to register online at mokenafire.org or at station number 1. July 25th, the Village Board of Trustee meeting starts at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall.
Thank you, Clerk. Okay, public comments. Is there anyone here for public comments?
Jim Sligo, 10732 Revere Road, Mokena, Illinois. At the last meeting, our attorney Carl Buck, I thought he gave the Cliff Notes version on how the revenue is generated from the gambling machines. I think that I'd like to expand on what he said, because I think it's important that everyone understands how this revenue is split up. I'm going to start off with an example of a $2 bet. If you put $2 bets in there, automatically 70% of that money goes into a pot for the winners. So when you put $2 in, you're not betting $2, you're only betting 70% of that, but that's $1.40 is going into the winning pot, okay? The other percentages, the other 60 cents are divided, like Carl said, a third, a third, a third. And the person who gets other than a $2 bet, the person who gets who owns the machine, he gets 20 cents. The person with the machine location, they get 20 cents. I believe the state of Illinois gets 15 cents, and the Village of Mokena gets 5%. 5 cents. So that's how it's split up. Now that's for a $2 bet. From what I read, this is several years ago, I read that Gas City on 191st Street was one of the largest gross revenue for gambling machines. It was like second or third, and its gross revenue, and you need to confirm this, is $20 million. Now when you take that $20 million and now you go through the percentages, you come up with the fact is of that $20 million, $6 million skims right off the top. $2 million goes to the people who own the machine, $2 million goes to the location, and $1.5 million goes to the state, and $500,000 goes to the village. Now, some people have said gambling doesn't generate a lot of revenue for Mokena, but $500,000 is a lot of revenue. So, and if you look at it from the point of view that I think I'm not exactly sure what the sales tax percentage is, but let's say it's 2% here in Mokena. If you were to sell $20 million of goods, the village would only get $40,000. I mean, here we're selling $20 million and we're generating $500,000 in income to the village. You know, maybe I have my numbers wrong. I'd like the village to look into this, and I hope that you raise these fees to $250. I think it's very lucrative for these people. I personally don't like gambling. I don't think it's. I think when you put your $2 in, the village isn't going to lose. The state isn't going to lose. The people who own the machine, the only people who are going to lose is the people who are gambling. And if you put in in my way of looking at it, if you gamble over a long period, keep putting $2 in, the most you're ever going to get back is $1.40. I mean, the odds are against you. But like the mayor says, shop Mokena, I say if you are going to gamble local and gamble with places like the VFW where you know that money's going to a good cause, or Little Al's on Front Street, or Dino. So I'm saying if you do enjoy it, gamble locally and keep our money here in Mokena. But if I'm wrong in my numbers, I'd like you guys to correct me.
Thanks, Jim. Anyone else? It's not too often, Mayor Glatz, so we get a mayor from another community coming up here.
Sorry for getting up here. I just, I tore my meniscus and I had surgery on my knee last week, just in case anyone wants to foil it. I just wanted to come here, Mayor Fleischer, and welcome you back. Thank you to the board for taking care of your village president while I was out. He's been a mentor to me since I've been in office, and so it's great for a town to have a neighboring community that you can pick up the phone and call or meet if you have questions on something that borders your village. And it's been a great relationship for myself and the village, with Mayor Fleischer in there. So I appreciate it. And last thing I want to say is just I apologize for what happened to you. It's I think it's pretty. We'll just say disturbing that someone would want to FOIA your issue that happened for something that God only knows what they're going to use down the road. As your wife is calling and about her husband, the father of her children, and her best friend in life and the president of the village she lives in. So we in Tinley Park support you, and thank you for all the support you give us, and thanks for your mentorship and friendship. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. And that was not solicited. Consent agenda, Mr. Tomasowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 4 items on the consent agenda this evening, and they are as follows. First item is a motion to grant approval to the Mokena Community Park District to conduct their annual Halloween Howl from Friday, October 7th, 2022 through Sunday, October 9th, 2022, and to authorize the use of municipal village resources for event coordination. Second item is move to adopt resolution number 2022-R-008 regarding appointment of an authorized agent for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund for the Village of Mokena, Will County, Illinois, effective July 18, 2022, and authorize the village president and village clerk to execute same. Third item is a motion to approve the minutes from the June 20th, 2022 work session. And the final item is a motion to approve the minutes from the June 27th, 2022 board meeting and work session.
Motion, please.
Mayor, motion to approve consent agenda items 6A, B, C, and D as depicted in the July 7, 2022 request for board action prepared by the village administrator.
Second.
Motion by trustee Richmond, seconded by trustee Matanius. Any questions or comments from the board? We have a motion.
Just a comment. With regard to the services we're going to provide to Halloween Hollow, Chief, I just want to make sure that safety of our community comes before providing folks to cross LaPorte Road. So I want to see officers being pulled away from the community to do crossing guard duty at the park. That's all I have there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Matanius.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. Trustee Dauphiné. Aye. Trustee Budson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, John. Okay, accounts payable for July. Finance Director Sharon Singles.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. For the board's review is the accounts payable for July totaling $2,481,098.40. I've taken the opportunity to highlight one invoice made payable to Flock Safety for 12 police security cameras in the amount of $24,000. Should the board concur with staff's recommendation to approve the monthly accounts payable for July, a motion would be in order.
Motion, please.
Mayor, move to approve the monthly accounts payable in the amount of $2,481,098.40.
Second.
Motion by trustee Richmond, seconded by trustee Matenius. Any questions or comments on the board? We have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Matenius.
Aye.
Trustee Budson.
Aye.
Trustee Dauphiné. And trustee Fedora.
Aye.
Motion carried. Appointments and proclamations. Honor Flight Chicago recipient Joseph, I hope my name is right, Kirky, okay. Hold on one second. That was Jordan. I mean, that was Jordan.
Kurt Zellner, I got it.
We got it, Kurt Zellner.
Thank you, Mayor. It's not often we get to honor one of our own here. Mr. Kirky is a U.S. Marine veteran, served our country admirably over a series of years. By my count, about 39 years, all said and done. He recently participated in Honor Flight Chicago 102. That was last month, and he was there with 118 other veterans from World War II, the Korean conflict, and the Vietnam War era. He entered active service in the U.S. Marines in 1972. And again, as I said, served in one form or another until 2011. In addition to that, his public service extends to his career. He's a retired high school chemistry teacher and taught in at least 4 different public schools, 3 of those in the CPS system, in schools that were not the easiest to teach in, I would say, by looking at the records. So honors for that. Also, he and his wife, Hattie, have lived in the Oak subdivision here in Mokena since 2011. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kirky and let him talk a little bit about himself and share about his experience with Honor Flight.
Thank you, Mr. Zolder, Mr. President, and trustees. The Honor Flight Chicago flight on June 15, 2022 was a twilight tour for me. The Honor Flight Chicago was founded in 2008 and is part of over 128 nationwide network cities that serve over 22,000 veterans each year from World War II, the Korean conflict, and the Vietnam era. Honor Flight gives to these veterans a lasting tour with honor. The one-day trip begins at Midway Airport at 4 a.m., departing on Southwest Airlines to Dulles Airport. It visits the memorials and monuments dedicated to veteran service and gives them the opportunity to share their stories and experiences. We visited the Air Force Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, World War II Memorial, Korean War Memorial, the Vietnam War Memorial, and the National Air and Space Museum. It was a full day. Honor Flight Chicago 102 was the 3rd flight of 2022. With over 250 volunteers from Chicago and Washington, D.C., I was among 119 veterans. 1 from World War II, 7 from Korea, and 111 from Vietnam. On our return to Midway Airport, family, friends, and the Frankfurt Brass Band greeted us. That was after a 5-hour flight delay. It was an awesome experience, one that I'll never forget. My tour as a Marine began in 1972 with Officer Kennedy School. I was ordered to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and told not to unpack my sea bags because I was sent to Guantanamo Bay for my first Christmas away from home. We came back in February of '73 and started preparing for a Mediterranean deployment with the Landing Force 6th Fleet. I was the fire support coordinator for Battalion Landing Team, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. And we visited numerous ports in Europe, which was an experience, and also, of course, amphibious landings and exercises. I completed my active duty in June of 1975, and that's when I began my 2nd tour as a teacher. As Mrs. Olney said, I've taught in Chicago for 18 years. Started at Harlan High School, Simeon High School, and then Kenwood. And Kenwood, at that time, was a top school in Chicago. Our only competition was Whitney Young. And after my wife and I moved to Hazel Crest, I transferred to Hillcrest High School. and that's where I ended my career there. I stayed in the Marine Corps Reserve the whole time because when you're a teacher, they don't promote you. I ended up transferring to a battery in Joliet, Illinois, Battery K, 4th Battalion, 14th Marines, and I was fortunate enough to command that unit for 2 years. The rest of my time in reserves was spent in what we call the Individual Ready Reserve, and it's kind of like inactive duty, but I would be going to school and things like that. After those tours, I'm retired now, and I got to say that Twilight Tour from Honor Flight Chicago was the tops. And I thank you for inviting me here. And if you're interested, go to the Honor Flight Chicago website and consider volunteering. Thank you, Mr. Owner. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, trustees.
Thank you.
Mr. Kirky. Mr. Kirky.
Yes.
Could you please come up to the podium?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I think this whole board agrees with me. Thank you very much for your service, your active duty service and your reserve service. But also thank you for the time you put into teaching our kids. 18 years is a long time. So yours is a history of community service in a lot of different ways. And all of us appreciate that, and thank you very much for that. Thank you. You don't have to thank us. Thank you for what you've done. Okay, automated license plate reader camera donations. Chief Benton?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Board, as you're aware, the Village of Mokena currently has a 12-camera automated license plate reader system in place across the village, commonly referred to as our flock camera safety system. These automatic license plate readers are strategically placed to capture license plate information on many of our well-traveled roadways. They don't only talk internally, but they also talk externally with a number of other municipalities across northern Illinois here. So it's a really expansive network. However, here in the village, we're in need of more cameras to better protect our community. With us today here are several old friends of mine. The first being Will County State's Attorney Jim Glasgow. Jim has a program in place where he agrees to fund up to 2 cameras for a village or a municipality, provided they can find a local business that will match that. So up to $5,000 each. We're also very fortunate to have another friend here, local business owner and Joliet resident Jay Bergman. He is the chairman of the First Secure Bank Group, of which our local branch is located. The First Secure Bank and Trust Company Mokena is located at 19648 South LaGrange Road. I'm not sure if it was from Jim's strong arming or my charm, but Jay has agreed to match Jim's funding here an additional $5,000 for 2 more cameras. So that's 4 cameras at a total of $10,000 that they have agreed to fund for the initial purchase. The village will be absorbing the ongoing costs in our police department budget along with our existing cameras now. Obviously, this is a valuable public-private partnership. It will allow us to expand our existing camera system, strengthening the safety in the village and security within the village. So no formal action is needed by the board tonight to accept the donation, but I would ask Mr. Glasgow and Mr. Bergman to both step up and speak on their donations and say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. This is the 5th business that is partnered with the State's Attorney's Office to provide cameras. And initially, Jay was going to do 1 camera, and then Brian and I put on the full court press. He picked it up to 2, and you'll notice his check is larger than mine. That's why he didn't bring it up there. When the print, look how small the print is. But anyway, so these cameras save lives, they solve crimes. In the city of Joliet, where Brian started his career, we've solved a number of murder cases because of these flock cameras. A couple of them, we wouldn't even have had a suspect without the flock camera. They also are a warning on our northern border when the carjackers come down from Chicago. If they come down in a stolen car and it's been logged in, every department, including yours, is notified where it's at. He can go to his computer and watch it drive. That's how advanced this is. So we get very few carjackings here. I was shocked to hear about the one at Meyer that emanated from a stolen car in Naperville that apparently wasn't logged in yet. So I'm going to call the chief in Naperville and say, hey, let's get somebody on that right away. Because apparently they do certain dump times, but they can also manually enter this stuff. So I want to also mention the canine program that I have. I purchased canines for 13 municipalities throughout Will County. They're game changers. I was just in Tinley Park with Mayor Glotz, Chief Walsh, and they've got their new canine helmet. And again, these dogs put a different face on your department. When you take the dog out into the community, the people just love the dog, and they start identifying that good feeling with the police department. And I just want to make a quick statement about the police department. I've been reviewing the use of deadly force in Will County since 1992 in this county, probably over 30 cases. And I've not had a single police officer exceed their lawful authority in the use of deadly force. And in most cases, probably 75%, they hesitated and didn't shoot at the first legal opportunity to shoot because they didn't want to have to shoot the person. Now, that's not what you see on television, is it? You see cherry-picked cases, anomalies, and there's always going to be bad apples in any profession. Doctors, lawyers, police, they're going to happen. And if you blow those out of proportion, then people get a completely skewed idea of what law enforcement's all about. Will County is like the cross-section of the United States of America. We've got every economic strata here. So it's not like we're just, the country club community. So when I tell you what I just told you for the last 30 years, that's really indicative of the sacrifice that our police officers make every day and put their lives on the line. And I don't want to hog this all because when I get Jay up here, Jay, come on up. Jay is really critically important because it's public-private. Think about it. You know how your budget is, right? So anytime I can get a local businessman to partner with me, I double the number of cameras that protect our community. And so, that's the large check. Yeah. But Jay is an amazing human being. He grew up on Caesar Street in Joliet. My father was born in a little house on Caesar Street. It's just a 2-block long street. And from those humble beginnings, he has been one of the most creative and innovative businessmen in Will County. And his success in oil and gas is, I think, well known throughout the community. And then he says, I think I'll get in banking. Now we got 12 banks? 17. Oh, jeez. I'm serious.
That's why he's got the bigger check.
No, he's got it. But it's wonderful. He's reflective of what's possible in this country. He came from poor roots and worked his way up to where he's at now. And so it's critically important that we work very hard to keep our American system in place so that can happen. Jay, why don't you step up for a second?
All right, thank you, Uncle Jim. You hopefully have heard of First Secure Bank and Trust Company. Our local president, Joe Kirking, is in the corner here. We're on LaGrange Road. You may not have heard much about us because we haven't done too much recently. With COVID and things such as that, that's kind of been a damper on everything. But we are truly a community bank. Now, every bank says they're a community bank. Heck, there's a bank group in the Chicago area that has 150 community banks. Well, we really are one. We have only 5 locations. We're going to have a 6th in Tinley Park, but that's it. We want to be the premier community bank of the Southland. And now, after the passing of COVID, we want to get more involved in all of the communities that we're in. We currently have employees that are residents of Mokena. We have board members. Most of our board members are right here in the Southland. And hopefully you'll be hearing more from us in the future in the area of helping the community, being part of the community, and that's what we like to do. And when Brian and Jim invited me for lunch, of course I knew there was strings attached. And as Jim said, I originally agreed to fund 1 camera, but when Brian put his gun on the table, I agreed to the second. That never happened. Brian's an old friend. I'll tell you, editorial comment. I've known Brian in his prior job environment, and he did a very good job in an unbelievably bad situation, so you're lucky to have him. But in any event, appreciate Brian letting us participate, appreciate working with Jim. We may hassle each other a little bit, but we've also been good friends for a long time, and we look forward, we at First Secure Bank and Trust Company look forward to getting further involved with the Village of Mokena. So,
Thank you.
You guys bring the check up so we can get some pictures together.
Chief?
Yes.
I think it was a charm.
You think so? You don't think they got on the table? Hey, Jim.
Mr. Glasgow, can you see the other Jimmy's for the other bank?
Go stand next to Brian.
Here you go, Jim.
Checks are too big, you can't see that.
That's the last time Jay uses that little font.
Good picture of his signature.
Sure thing, Brian. And just so it's clear, I've got an offer on the table here, Chief. When he wants to close on a K-9, we'll be more than happy to come through for you. So,
very much.
I know that's his discretion, though, because he's got to fit it into the right thing. But
Need a few more
whenever that's ready, I'm ready.
Thank you, Brian.
Take care.
Mr. Glasgow, Mr. Bergman?
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Glasgow? Mr. Bergman? Thank you very much for your help with those cameras. Both of those cameras, as well as we know that the cameras are working, we know it's going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And thank you for starting that program. And Mr. Bergman, thank you for making our community a little bit safer. Thank both of you.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, appointment of Patty Conti to Police Record Supervisor position.
Thank you. Mayor and Board, at the May 23rd, 2022 Village Board meeting, the Board passed a resolution to set compensation for certain civilian positions within Village Hall and the Police Department. Included in this resolution was a newly created position of Police Record Supervisor. Justification for this position was previously presented to the Board based on the growing duties and responsibilities inherent in the Police Department Records section. Based on the necessary requirements and qualifications listed in the job description, it will be staff's recommendation to approve the appointment of Customer Service Representative Patty Conti to the position of Police Record Supervisor at a PO Grade 7 starting set. Should the Board concur with the staff's recommendation, the following motion would be in order.
Motion, please.
Mayor, motion to approve the appointment of Patty Conti to the position of Police Record Supervisor at the Grade 7 starting step effective July 12th, 2022.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Richmond, seconded by Trustee McDaniel. Any questions or comments from the Board? We have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Matanius.
Aye.
Trustee Budson.
Aye.
Trustee Dolphinet.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Chief. Okay, all business, video gaming terminal fees. Mr. Zollner.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Schlegel alluded to in his comments earlier, we are talking about video gaming terminal fees this evening. This has been through a couple of work session discussions with the board. By way of background, there was legislation passed by the General Assembly in late 2021, resulted in Public Act 102-0689, which gives a mechanism for non-home rule communities to increase their annual fee that they charge video gaming terminals from $25 to $250. So in way of staff research, we did some background, looked at some home rule communities out in the neighboring vicinity. I think about 10 of those. We found that survey showed that those home rule communities charge up to $1,000 per terminal. The average for the 10 communities, which includes New Lenox, Ormond Park, and Tinley Park, was $455. So having presented that information to the board, we also kind of looked at how that fee is paid for, and basically it's a 50-50 split between the hosting establishment or business and the terminal operator. So we went and talked to several different for-profit businesses here in Mokena. We also talked to local VFW as a nonprofit and asked them what their thoughts were about raising the fee. They all said if you raise it to $250, it's not a big deal to us. Obviously, these terminals generate quite a bit of revenue. And so, given the fact there's a 50-50 split between the hosting business or operation and the terminal operator, the actual net impact to each business or organization is $125 per terminal, which is really just a drop in the bucket. So based on discussion amongst the board and staff research and confirmation that the 50-50 split is indeed there, staff is recommending, whether it's a for-profit or not-profit business, that the fee be raised to $250 per terminal effective with the renewals for 2023.
Motion, please.
Mayor, motion to adopt ordinance number 2022-0-012, an ordinance raising video gaming terminal fees to $250 per terminal annually, and to authorize village president and village clerk to execute same. Second.
Motion by trustee Richmond, second by trustee Mokena. Any questions or comments from the board? We have a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Matanius.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. Trustee Dauphiné.
Aye.
And Trustee Budsey.
Motion carried. Thank you, Clerk.
Thank you.
Okay, village administrator comments.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to have our Assistant Director of Public Works, Mr. Blokman, lead us off this evening.
Just a quick update for our residents and our general motoring public, as it will likely have an impact for us. The Illinois Department of Transportation has jurisdiction over the bridges over I-80, and the Wolf Road Bridge is due for some construction work and some repair work. It's projected to have the closure of the bridge coming up here at the end of July, beginning on July 25th and going through December 1st. Then the bridge will be reopened again for the winter work period, and then close again on April 1st through the remainder of the completion of the bridge reconstruction on the 23rd. So just want to get that information out there. It is an update relative to the schedule. I know more recently the contractor updated his schedule with some information based on some of the supplies from the materials. So it's a little bit of an update from maybe some previous information, and staff will seek to try and get that information out to the public as it changes, if it does at all, barring updates on the schedule.
Thank you, Dan. You can move us forward. Another update here, we're working with our some partnership with Silver Cross Hospital here. An update as of today, 22 inpatients at this time with respect to COVID. From Silver Cross's perspective, the community levels are at medium risk. The community transmission risk is high. The COVID vaccines have been approved in the 6 months to 5 year age category for those interested. And they are waiting to see if there's a 4th of July day scourge of cases. There has been reported of multiple cases already from family gatherings on the 4th. But just kind of from a comparison note, that 22 inpatients has been rather consistent here for the last, I'll say, at least couple weeks with Silver Cross. So once again, please use this information accordingly for your family and your loved ones. And last but certainly not even last yet, but our next one is saying goodbye, congratulations, and happy retirement to our customer service rep, Lisa Sickles. Over 31 years of dedicated service to the village, working long and hard for us, and it just happened here relatively recently. And as part of that, thank Lisa and also thank her husband, Mr. Mark Sickles, who both decided to retire here on the same day. And I know we honored them in our 4th of July parade, and rightfully so. Both of them served our community well. You total up their years together, you have 70 years here of serving the village of Mokena. I would like to thank specifically Lisa for all her hard work and dedication, and it was said to me by numerous folks, and I concur with it. There wasn't a day that went by where you saw a smile on Lisa's face and her eagerness and willingness to help all our customers. So I wish Lisa the best. And then we'll end my report with wishing our very own finance director, Sharon Dangles, the best. We're going to be losing Sharon, unfortunately, here to our next endeavor in the Sunshine State. So enjoy, Sharon, and thank you for all your help and contributions.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, John. Okay, trustee comments. Trustee Duffman.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could ask a quick question about the Wolf Road bridge closure, just to clarify, the detour signs, is it 7 days minimum?
Yes.
Notice?
Yes. It'll probably be about a week from today that I would expect the motoring public will see some of those detour signs pop up on location there.
So as long as they stay on track, we'll see signs a week from today?
Correct.
Okay. And of course, I read about the quarry strike and all that going on. Do we just...
So there is a aggregate producer strike that has impacted a little bit of construction. It's hard to project totally, but I don't think it will have a ton of impact. Hopefully it'll be settled by the time we get into full bridge reconstruction for them.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. If I can just thank you, Chief Ben, for all your work there to get the flock cameras, and what a great public-private partnership with Mr. Glasgow and Mr. Bergman. Grateful for their support, and I think hopefully it'll open the door to more public-private partnerships to do some great things here in the community. Mr. Kirky, thank you, sir, for all that you do, your service to the country, and as Mayor said, thanks for being a teacher to our young people as well. Great to meet you here tonight. And okay, I just I'm Italian, so I got to say thank you to Mr. Melinari and the folks for putting the fest together. So that I have to get that in. So thank you, Mayor. That too.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Trustee Merschman.
I'm not Italian, but from the Irish side, how's that? We had a great 4th of July, and you know what, 4th of July, it just brought out all the good in our community. I mean, we saw the guys from the VFW, Melissa and Cindy running the parade and getting that all organized, and I know you're already on probably week 2 now of getting the 2023 parade pulled together. So, I mean, we have a great community here, and I just think that today's meeting was just a prime example of everything that we're doing from the police department side, from public works side and all that, just to maintain our community and keep it such a great place to live and raise our families. And to everybody that served in the military, thank you for your service. If it wasn't for you men and women, we wouldn't be able to do what it is we do each and every day as citizens of this great country. So thank you very much, Jim and Mr. Kirk. So thank you. That's all you have, Mayor.
Trustee Martinez?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. Mokena will support our businesses, support our events too, like 4th of July parade. I mean, I think it was one of the biggest ones that I've seen, even floats-wise. Am I right, Melissa?
About the same amount of entries, but definitely way more people walking with every entry.
Right. It was great to see everybody out enjoying it. Support our Lions Club, Fiesta Italiana, our food trucks. Come on and support that, because all that goes together so that the residents of Mokena can get together, you know, and enjoy it. So please support our events. So have a safe summer. I mean, it's getting a little warm, but it's okay. That's all I have.
Thank you, George. Trustee Hudson?
Thank you, man. They've left the room already, State's Attorney Glasgow and Mr. Bergman, but thank you to both of them for stepping up. These cameras, you heard them say it, are a benefit, and their involvement in getting us a couple more. Is it 2 or 4, Chief? I wasn't sure. 4. So 4 more cameras is greatly appreciated. Mr. and Mrs. Sickles, congratulations on your retirement. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. George mentioned a little bit about it, but this coming week we have our festivities on Front Street, Firecracker Dance. We have Festa Italia, so I'll echo what Trustee Matania said, and please come out and enjoy those activities. Sharon, it's been short, but best of luck. Enjoy Florida, and
will be missed. And then finally, Mr. Kirky, thank you for doing what you did. I've been observant to some of those honor flights, haven't been participating in one, but observant to it, and they are absolutely spectacular. Seeing those veterans and how much they appreciate what's done for them. So thank you, and thank you for your service. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Joe. Trustee Fleur?
Thank you. What a wonderful evening of appointments, proclamations, presentations, and Discover Mokena. I hope the mayor of Tinley goes back and tells his board that we start our board meetings off with live entertainment. I hope they're very jealous of that. And I cannot believe it's been 8 years of Festa Italiana, but I do look forward to seeing everyone this whole weekend in downtown Mokena enjoying it. Of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days of entertainment and fun. The weather looks like it's going to be pretty good, so look forward to seeing everybody this weekend and getting to connect with our neighbors and our community.
Thank you, Melissa. Clerk's comments.
I will pass for this week. Thank you.
Okay, mayor's comments. Sharon, good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you for the time that you put in here. It's a shame to see you go, but you're going to go where it's a little bit warmer, I guess, this winter. The 4th of July parade gets better every year, and like Jim said, we're already setting up for next year. And it does bring so many people into the community. And when you go to different areas, it's interesting. You hear so many people make comments about Mokena's parade. And it really is nice to hear. So again, Cindy and the whole parade organization, thank you very much for the time and effort that you put into that every year. I need a motion to adjourn the workshop.
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Richmond, second by trustee Hudson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carried. We are in workshop in a couple minutes.
In Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for.